Welcome to SimUK. Today I'm going to preview Motorbike Garage Mechanic Simulator with great emphasis on preview because this game is still in beta and under development. That is, despite it being due for release very soon. I am grateful to Fat Dog Games and Dev4Play for allowing me early access to Motorbike Garage Mechanic Simulator, which shall now be known as MGMS, prior to its release. I'm going to clarify straight away that this is not part of the Car Mechanic Simulator franchise. This is a totally standalone, independent indie title, despite any similarities to the look or gameplay mechanics. So I'll start by telling you how this game is promoted and then share my thoughts based on my beta gameplay experience. Become a professional bike mechanic and develop your business doing something you love. This comprehensive technical simulation is all about choppers, the manliest motorcycle in the world. Exchange parts, service bikes and assemble them from scratch. I need to point out that the entire focus of this title is around choppers. If you don't know what a chopper is, then allow me to briefly explain. A chopper is a type of custom motorcycle which emerged in California in the late 1950s. The chopper is perhaps the most extreme of all custom styles, often using radically modified steering angles and lengthened forks for a stretched out appearance. They can be built from an original motorcycle, which is modified or chopped, or they can be built from scratch. You will not find any race bikes here, tourers or scramblers in this game, nor will you find any known brands of bike or parts. What you will get, so it seems, but subject to change, is just one single generic chopper bike in a variety of colours, and the ability to change its parts and accessories. Now, before I proceed, I do want to make a few things quite clear. This is in beta, everything could change, although with an imminent release date, I think that the majority of the game is probably in place. This is an indie title, it doesn't come from a big development team, and the available budget is most likely consisting of a genuine passion for motorbike mechanics. So with that being said, I will now share with you my experiences so far. MGMS is built on the Unity engine, so graphically MGMS is okay, but it's certainly not brilliant. The colour palette, shadows and light effects are a little unimpressive, but the gameplay environment looks okay and passes well for a motorbike garage. There is no controller support at the moment, so everything is done using keyboard and mouse. This works well on the most part, but is a little bit clunky and the UI is pretty terrible, to be honest. The audio representation, for example, when highlighting a menu option is horrific and should just be replaced. It might even be replaced for release. I have encountered a couple of bugs, the most significant of these which left me unable to move at all and forced me to start a new game. Of course, this is beta and updates and patches are most likely the cause of this particular bug. Other than that, they're just small annoyances. The in-game menu system, which means the way in which you buy parts and accept jobs, is a little bit unpolished. It looks and feels clunky. Again, I would hope that this gets better for release. Jobs are taken via your mobile, which interestingly cannot be moved, despite being a mobile, and includes a weird mini-game involving a chicken laying eggs. No idea what that's all about. Jobs arrive via text message rather than email. It's not that easy to distinguish which jobs have been accepted, as there is no colour coding to indicate messages that you have read and those that you have not. Once you accept a job, you'll need to buy the parts. This is done by using your laptop. You can buy new and used parts, which is good. I'm not sure if there is an ability to repair parts or not. Certainly in the game, part condition is mentioned, but I have been unable to progress too far into this game in order to confirm this theory. All parts are purely fictitious, and every part is referred to only by part number. This does make finding the part that you want easy, which is good because there is no search function available. The website design for the parts company is terrible. In real life, you would never ever use them, and the parts preview image is often way too small and just totally pointless. Some parts might be too expensive for you to buy early on, in which case you will need to take on smaller jobs to earn the money to buy them, or you can just search around your garage and find random piles of cash that have been stuffed in odd locations. You can have up to a maximum of 3 bikes in your shop at any one time, although I suspect as the game progresses you might be able to increase this number. Either way, you can only work on 1 bike at a time. Parts are varied, and this is the only way to customise your chopper. Customers may request that you repaint the part, and to do this you will take it to your on-site spray room, which is available from the start. Once again, this aspect looks unfinished and unpolished. The customer's colour choice is not always visible, again this is beta, and the whole process is a bit of a bore rather than any fun. By not correctly respraying, you get paid less, and to be honest, I tend to prefer this approach. So, once you have accepted a job, bought your replacement parts and sprayed them to match the customer's desired colour, you now need to fit these parts. Let me just say that one of the key desires for me for playing games like Car Mechanic Simulator is to learn more about and compound my existing knowledge of mechanical parts and how they all fit together. In Car Mechanic Simulator, this is achieved, rightly or wrongly, by assistive guides helping you to locate damaged parts and parts which need to be replaced or are missing. MGMS takes a similar but different approach to this, but the end result is less than user-friendly. If you are already an experienced motorbike mechanic, then you will no doubt find the process of dismantling a little easier than the likes of me. That's someone who is interested in learning what parts go where and how it all pieces together. But then, even you, I suspect, will become frustrated with the way in which MGMS has gone about implementing this. First of all of the bikes look the same, and I mean identical, but for colour and accessories. I found the process of dismantling easy for small and obvious accessories like headlights, foot pegs, or what they call ornaments that sit on the back of the bike. The camera was pretty easy to control, and despite the shadows making it pretty tricky to see certain parts, progress was smooth and substantial. But then, when it came to the more complex parts, the deficiencies of the disassembly mechanics become all too clear. When hovering over a part, for example, it will be coloured red if you cannot remove it. What it won't do, and I really hope this is changed for release, is show you why. It won't highlight the screw or other piece that needs to be replaced first, and with the shadows and the lighting being so poor, you can be looking straight at it and not even see it. Worse than this, there are hidden or awkward screws which you cannot see when removing a part, and even when you find them, trying to get the camera in position so that you can remove it becomes its own infuriating minigame. I cannot confirm or deny if there is the option to elongate the front ends, increase the rake angle, or make any significant change to the frame or base model, but what I can tell you is that the experience I have had has been less than fun, far from educational, and overall a frustration. Now, predominantly this review is less than positive. I don't recommend you buy this game unless the release price is around £5 and you're specifically interested in chopper bikes. I think a lot more work needs to go into this title before it can be called an enjoyable and fully working game. Despite that, there are some positives here. For one, this is the first bike mechanic sim to be released, and I would love to see more. Secondly, the parts are reasonably realistic and do appear to be connected and attached correctly, so there is some educational benefit to playing. This is an indie title, and they have taken on a massive job. In their defence, they have produced something pretty decent, in the sense that the basic mechanics and the idea there are all pretty sound. The areas that they do need to work on, though, are the UI, the lighting, the assembly and disassembly mechanics, and most likely they're going to have to introduce more bikes, more parts, and much better customization. That probably sounds all negative too, but honestly, it's not meant that way. It's not all singing and dancing yet, but given time, it could very well be. Overall, if you're not specifically into chopper bikes, this is unlikely to keep you interested for very long. And even if you are, the choppers currently available all look the same, which is the exact opposite of what a chopper should be. Maybe later in the game, there is the option to drastically modify the look, design and shape of these choppers, but I just cannot endure the time required to get there with the way that the game is right now. Which is a shame, because I really wanted to like this one. Let's hope that on release day a lot has changed, and following up from that, they improve and expand upon the content available. My name's Mike, this is Sim UK, thanks for watching, till next time, goodbye.